Everybody. My name's Jacquelyn Burnside. I am a senior manager with the Lifecycle Marketing team. Been with Tinuiti for over 7 years, worked on Brooks' client for over 5, and had the privilege of working with Audra for 2.
I'm Audra. I've been with Brooks for a little over 2 years. I come from a hospitality and nonprofit background before that, and I've had the absolute pleasure of working with Jackie, even though I just met her in real life yesterday.
Yes. Awesome. So to kick us off, before we get started, we're going to tell you a little bit about our relationship. So in 2013, we did strategy only for Brooks, and then in 2018, it expanded to include strategy, execution, and reporting. From there, we went to, in 2021, we did ESP migration from them, from Bluecore and Bronto to Sail-Through. And then we also added on SMS, design and strategy and copywriting. That went so well that in 2022, we also expanded scope with them and did 20 emails a quarter for design and SMS. And we've had such a great relationship. So in 2022 Q1, we actually exceeded our revenue goal by 18%. So we've just done some really great work, and I'll have Audra talk a little bit about the brand and its identity.
For those of you who aren't familiar with Brooks, we are a performance running brand. Performance not to mean you have to be an elite runner to wear Brooks. If you're lacing up for the first time, running a mile a week, Brooks is for you. If you're running your 400th marathon, could not be me, we're for you too. And if you are that person, I need to talk to you because blows my mind. But we have something for everyone. We have product that meets you where you're at. We really believe that the run is for everyone, and we want to meet you where you are on your journey and provide you with exactly what you need to get out there and get your miles in and do what it takes.
Awesome. So to kick us off, can you tell us about your personal journey and the brand's journey during the pandemic?
So I actually started at Brooks the week we went into lockdown. I have no perspective on what Brooks was prior to COVID. I have only noticed in COVID. I literally did my first interview in person, and in the amount of time it took to schedule my second interview, everyone got sent home, and we had to do it remotely. I was the first remote interview that they performed at Brooks. It was a little hectic. So when I joined the team, Brooks was retail first. We have 2 stores that are Brooks-owned properties, and then everywhere else we sell at Dick's Sporting Goods, your local running goods store, Nordstrom, REI, you name it. So e-commerce was really a secondary piece of the puzzle. It was really that backseat of bonus. We were retail first, so when everything got shut down, the whole world flipped on its head, and we had to completely overhaul our marketing strategy and everything we did to go digital and really leverage what we had in our properties. In 2021, we overhauled our website, we did the ESP migration, as Jackie mentioned, and we migrated our order management system all in 6 months. It was crazy. But we really had to accelerate our growth in the lifecycle marketing space because it became very clear that we didn't have those additional touch points in retail. We didn't have those one-to-one conversations. We didn't have that post-purchase journey. We were focused so much in email on product launches. Then what? There's so much more to the conversation that we just weren't having. We also had such an influx of runners because not everybody could afford a Peloton when COVID started, but you could go outside and you could run, and that was a way that people were staying sane when they couldn't go to the gym, and we were booming through the roof with new runners. We had to talk to them and teach them about who Brooks was because they weren't familiar with us since they were so new to the running space. And then now that retail stores are back open, how do we layer that into the story? How do we have that omni-channel experience now that we have those touch points? So it's been an ongoing journey of making sure the runner not only knows Brooks' product, but knows who we are as a brand and what we do beyond the shoes.
Yeah, so one of the things you told me in the past is that during this time you really grew the Brooks persona. Can you tell a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we're a quirky brand. We're a little offbeat. Runners are a little offbeat, and we are all runners. Some of us are treadmill runners who watch a lot of trashy reality TV while they run. And some of us are trail runners who run insane amount of miles outside. We really run the gambit, and that's what makes it great, is because we all come from a space of loving the sport and knowing what runners want, because every runner wants something different. We have this incredible knowledge base of gurus and athletes and R&D who help develop the product and training plans and all of these incredible pieces of content that we weren't leveraging at all. We have opportunities for so much storytelling. And until 2020, we were really reliant on that product and the science, and weren't talking about the athletes and what we were doing in the running community. We have, the running community is for everyone. There's trail runners and LGBTQIA running groups and youth running groups, and we weren't talking about any of that. So it's been a real big focus of ours to showcase where we show up in that space and who we are, and really living our brand values in a more forward-facing way.
Awesome. So in 2021, you guys launched your Brooks Run Club loyalty program. Great news is that in Q3 2021, from today, you've increased that list by 281%, with over 125 members, 1,000 members right now.
125.
Yeah, just very small. So you guys really kind of figured out the community aspect and how to talk to that audience. What wins can you share with the team with this program?
We're really building the Brooks Run Club plane as we're flying it. It's been a very pie-in-the-sky journey. My boss, Ryan, will tell you he would talk about it to anyone and everyone who would listen for like 5 years. And finally, come 2020, we realized this was the moment. We have to go big and get in front of people because we had such a huge influx of runners. Running shoe purchases we're averaging about 2 purchases a year. You don't need a ton of pairs. So what are we doing in that interim to talk to people? This loyalty program, this was an opportunity to get in front of people in those windows when they're using the product, but not necessarily looking to purchase more. So we really went away from a traditional loyalty space where it's points-based or purchase-based, and we focused heavily on engagement. How do we engage with our customers? How do we get them coming back just to talk to Brooks and just to see what we're doing? So we partnered with a lot of running adjacent brands like Noon and Honey Stinger and Tiger Tail, who does those fun massage rollers and massage guns. All the things you need as part of your running journey, but aren't directly tied to Brooks. And we really showcased them and created what we affectionately call edutainment, which are fun games that you can play and polls you can take and content you can get that is specific to whatever corner of the world those partners are focused on. So Noon, we talked about hydration, and Honey Stinger, we talked about fueling your run before and after, and really talked to customers in a way that was not about selling them anything. It was about teaching them how to be better runners and how to get what they need out of their run. So the best part of it was after they played the game or read the content and engaged with things, there was an instant gratification. You got a prize. It was either you got a product from Noon or Honey Stinger or Tiger Tail, or you got a discount to go shop with them. So it's that instant gratification. We found that runners were really not interested in a sweepstakes type scenario, like chance to win. You maybe will hear from us someday down the line that you won a prize, and you never hear from it again. You never know who wins. People were winning instantly, and then the best part is they were posting about it on social and showing their prizes to their friends who were then coming back. And we could showcase that UGC in our emails and in our communications to be like, look, people are winning immediately. They're getting things out of this. And we have seen crazy numbers of people returning to the site. I think we're averaging about 6 visits per quarter. We change the content and the pricing partner every quarter. So about 6 visits every quarter of people coming back to play again, engage again, get more out of it.
I think one of my favorite vendors that you worked with was Theo Chocolates. During Christmas, they actually made a chocolate shoe, and that's what you won. It was
a solid chocolate shoe, a solid dark chocolate shoe in a women's size 5. It was like 2 pounds. It was very heavy to ship. But I think we still have like half of one in my house because it is taking us so long to eat it.
Wonderful. So I think with your loyalty program, it reiterated that you guys need to talk to your audience in different ways and engage with them in different ways. So you guys expanded your SMS strategy and are really honing in when's the appropriate time to reach out to them and to help grow your program even further. So can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, SMS has been like the magic bullet for us. We were not doing much, if any, when I first came on board. It was sort of randomly like, oh, we have a core shoe dropping, like a Ghost, which we drop at the same time every year. People are loyal to that shoe. And it was just like, hey, it's here. It wasn't thoughtful. It wasn't deliberate. It was just an additional touch point. With the loss of that retail touch point, SMS was really an opportunity to connect with runners in a more personal way, directly in their phone and being a part of their daily life. It was deliberate and thoughtful. And honestly, people aren't taking SMS marketing for granted yet the way that they do email, where you're just like scrolling through your inbox, you're like, ugh, there's 101, emails from every brand. SMS it's more pointed and it's more connected. So people are like, oh, I'm more interested in this. And even if you don't click through, there was that top of mind awareness, so that when you saw the email, that second touch point maybe spurred people through. Retention really broke through SMS for us with this loyalty program. Launching the program and announcing we had these new pricing partners went gangbusters. People were hyped. They were like, oh, noon, I want in. I want to be a part of that. I want to know what's going on next.
Yeah, and it's been a great way to segment in with your email. Like, you would let people know early, potentially with SMS, and then you can remind them via email, and important launches. It's just been a really great addition to your program.
The SMS early access has been a huge piece, or early access in general. If you're a member of the Brooks Run Club, we do limited edition shoes every year. We have some that are anniversary, like our Run Merry Christmas shoe, or our Run Lucky St. Patrick's Day shoe. And then other pieces like our Pride shoe that just dropped. Well, actually, the Pride clothes dropped. The Pride shoe is a little delayed. Congratulations, supply chain. I'm sure you're all suffering that as well. We have some other pieces too, but letting people know early via SMS, like, hey, this is available, you're the only one that can get it, that exclusivity has been incredible. We've seen such high performance from that, and we've seen people coming back going, okay, registering because their friend told them they were able to get in early. They were able to get it. And because we only sell such a limited quantity, it's been great. Our sell-through has been incredible.
Yeah. So now, speaking a little bit about automation, we have found that you can use automation to help increase overall revenue. So increase 40% year over year for our automation revenue in particular. So this is like cart abandon, browse abandon, even further. So can you talk a little bit more about how this has been such a great strategy for you?
Yeah, as I mentioned, when we went into the pandemic, there was definitely gaps in the communication. It was about product, order, shipping, confirmation, those transactional pieces. It wasn't about maximizing conversion of people on site, but we had such an influx of people on our site and people signing up that these automated series, cart and browse abandon, we were like, we have to get these optimized. We have to get these out the door and get them moving, because that's where our highest conversion points have been. And then on top of that, after the purchase, then what? We launched the post-purchase series, and that has been a huge asset for us. We have all of these incredible blog articles and all of this content and all of this knowledge. Once you buy the product and you're using it in the real life, how do you take care of it? How do you keep it from wearing out faster? How do you start training if you're new? Like, if you want to train for a marathon, where do you start? You just go out and run, then what?
When do you buy your next shoe?
Yeah. When do you buy your next shoe? How do you know how many miles before your shoe's wearing out? Because that's when you get prone to injury, and making sure we're taking care of runners from their entire journey. It's been really great. The opposite side of that automation is it's not always based on action, it's based on inaction. If there are people who we know need to replace their shoes or they haven't engaged with us, then what? How do we get them back into the brand? How do we entice them? We use the Brooks Run Club to help draw them back in. Join this membership, here's all the bonuses that you get, here's the things that you get. Or we found recently that the re-engagement series really needed an offer. How do we entice you back and be giving you a discount? We're working that into the series now. Or the win back, like, you are dropping off, you are not participating. You signed up because you bought a pair of shoes for somebody at Christmas. How do we get you back in and get you into a pair of shoes for the brand? So it's been really fun.
Yeah, we're really excited to see how that offer is going to change things and see if we can retain people even more. So that'd be great. So within these automations, we also have cross-sell with Sail Through. There is a program, AI, you might be familiar with it. It's artificial intelligence functionality within the emails. So based on your browsing history or what you might express interest in, we can show it as a cross-sell item within other emails to help possibly increase your average order value, or maybe convince you to buy something that you did not know you want to necessarily buy. So how have you incorporated that into Brooks, and how has it worked for you?
The cross-selling has been huge. We're known for our footwear. Everybody, Brooks shoes, you see them everywhere. Apparel is sort of the secondary tier of that. So as part of our post-purchase journey, when you buy a pair of shoes, you buy some footwear, we're able to weave in that AI, like people who also bought this shoe, bought these products, bought these apparels, when you probably like this. We can change them out seasonally as well, recommending things based on, it's winter, you live in Seattle.
Yeah.
Or it's summer, you live in Seattle, you need a coat.
Yeah.
Hasn't changed much really this year. So we're able to leverage those kinds of opportunities. And same with, especially with women, we have these incredible run bras that have been designed and scienced in the most, I can't even do them justice, way, where we can sell, we know women, you bought a pair of women's shoes, you bought women's apparel, have you tried our run bras? Giving people the information in the background to help make that more successful. I think we saw an increase of like 12% in our average order value in Q4 with these cross-selling opportunities, because people were like, hey, I will try that. I do need a coat. It does suck to run in the rain in Seattle.
And with their run bras, they actually have like a pouch in the back that you can put your phone in there, which that's pretty cool.
Yeah, some of them have them on the side now too. It's very cool.
Very interesting. Awesome. So what are your main takeaways, Audra?
My main takeaways. Oh, I did forget to mention, we did recently launch Cart Abandon in SMS, which Jackie can attest to this. I was pretty averse to it. I was like, oh, that's a little aggressive. Like, I don't know if people need reminders of cart abandon in their inbox. Like, that's a little assertive, like when you're just trying to like go about your day and text your friend about something silly. We've seen a conversion rate of like 56%. People want it in the supply chain world. It's working. They're like, oh, my product is available. It's still there. I have to get it before it's gone. And it's been great. So my main takeaway is don't be afraid to try things. Even if you're like, I'm not sure if people want this, I'm not sure, put it out there. You don't know. I was pleasantly surprised by how the cart abandon was performing. It's going through the roof. So there have been flops, admittedly. We have had some bombs, things that did not perform, and I'm happy to share those with you after. There are some lessons we've learned. But from that, we learned things. We learned how to optimize for certain audiences, and we learned about certain segments, things that women were responding to that men weren't, or that trail runners were responding to, and it's been fun. It's been fun to test and put it out in the world.
Awesome. Another takeaway?
Customers are just customers in the moment they're purchasing, but they're with you beyond that. You have to connect with them beyond your product. Really, we live your brand values. That for us, that is that we are runners. And we are with you, and we want to train, and we care about nutrition, and we care about all these things, and put that out, because that really bonds people, and it makes you part of their daily life. It makes you part of the use of their product, not just some shoes they throw on when they go out the door.
Yep.
And stay relevant. As I mentioned, we just dropped our Pride collection, and we were working with Angel City Elite, and we're really living this brand values of being involved in the running community and focused on runners and the world and making running a safe place. We have a Run Visible collection as well, where we work with 3M to make you more visible at night to cars, so it's safer. We're trying to make running safer and better and more inclusive for everyone. So just be relevant.
Yep. And last but not least?
They were talking about this in the session before us too. Understand the customer you want to attract and really know what your audience is telling you. They'll tell you what they want. And they'll tell you what they don't want. Actually, more importantly, what they don't want. So really make sure you ask your audience, talk to them, find out what they're looking for, because they'll tell you.
Awesome. Well, that is it for us. But if you have any questions, Audra and I are happy to continue the conversation. We'll be out at the Poppy stand after this meeting. So thank you all for your time.